Right then, the England squad is now announced. We are, days away from the start of the Euros. And I don't think Marcus Rashford should have gone. Mason Greenwood has withdrawn. I'm 50-50 on this. Half of me thinks that he was withdrawn, and half of me thinks that he wasn't selected and got on the phone to United's PR to do some manoeuvres. But we'll not know the answer to that. Now, I think because of the underlying injuries that Marcus Rashford has had, I personally, it's my belief that he should withdraw from the squad also. Now, I don't think he will. I think he loves playing for his country, the same as he loves playing for Manchester United, and he's going to do whatever he can. Probably get surgery that is desperately required on the back end of the Euros, potentially miss however long he needs to be out for with Manchester United. But I think he should withdraw from the Euros. I don't think he's appreciated by England. I don't think he's appreciated. I certainly don't think he's appreciated for Manchester United. And I think the sacrifice that he's gone through, I see some wild opinions that he's selfish for putting his body on the line and stepping up to the plate when some players with the slightest of knocks go, not doing that. I think a lot of English players have this mentality which is to their detriment. Wayne Rooney had it. Brian Robson had it. You've seen some wonderful England players have careers cut short by that sort of constant desire to prove that they're hard, constant desire to prove that they're tough and able to keep going, and especially playing in the Premier League where you are getting physically assaulted in games as well. Now, Marcus played 57 times for Manchester United this season, which breaks down into 46 starts, 4,146 minutes overall, which is a little bit behind Aaron Wan-Bissaka with 4,700 minutes played overall. But unlike Rashford, he's not going to Euros and therefore is going to get the sort of appropriate rest that he requires. Now, when you ask most United fans at the moment, did Marcus Rashford play well this season? They're going to say no. Yeah, his numbers are a different story. 36 goals and assists in 57 appearances is bloody elite, to be honest. And it's a player that's played 3 different positions, not really been able to tie down one single thing. And he's been brutally injured for large portions of that as well. It begs the question, if he's doing that well not fully fit, what could he do once he is fully fit? Now, my worry for Marcus is I've seen too many players' injuries lessen their potential as they go forward. Those injuries take something out of you. Those injuries not only take years off the back end of your career, but also can take sheer ability out of you as a footballer. And I think that Marcus needed a rest coming into this season, didn't get it, exacerbated some injuries. And as we saw, his agency claiming on Twitter back in March that he hasn't been fully fit for 2 years. 2 years he's been getting strapped up and pushing through. That tells me that, he only pulled out of one squad with an injury out of all of the ones that he's been injured for. And even that, we knew going into it, he was going to pull out. He wasn't going to play in the game, but yet he was still kept around by England. And I don't know if it's a political thing where people think that if you're not part of the England squad, then you might get overtaken. And it's probably a legitimate worry because you do have in his position, Foden, Sterling, Grealish, players that could, in a lot of people's eyes, certainly take away Marcus's position. And I think evidently he's one of Solskjaer's favourites, but it's not necessarily the case for Gareth Southgate, even though he's picked him every opportunity that he gets. I think Solskjaer's refusal to take him off in the Europa final, despite putting in a subpar performance from the first minute, wasn't on his own, but it's the case. He's been playing through injuries because he's a threat when he's on the pitch, and he's been playing through injuries because his mentality is of just relentless. And I think there's a crossroads that he's going to come to if he's not already arrived at in his career, where he has to prioritize his own health and he has to take the required rest period and he has to get fixed. because it's only going to unravel for him if he doesn't get these things fixed. Now, for me, the Euros is an intense burst of football. I don't necessarily think his reputation is going to be boosted by a performance at the Euros. Certainly, because I don't think England are anywhere near capable of winning this thing. That would be the only way I think that he could potentially boost his reputation. And obviously, no one's got the right, including me, obviously, to tell Marcus whether or not he should play for England when it's something he clearly loves doing. And certainly not a major tournament. But given the choice of, appear and perform now at this Euros on the back of injuries where you're possibly already diminished versus what could you do next year fully fit on the back of being in form going into, say, a World Cup, I think the World Cup would be the better one for him. He's not Superman. He sometimes acts like he is, and it's commendable on many aspects. The resilience that he displays is admirable, but these injuries, especially for someone so young, can really start to get at you, and players need rest. It's no coincidence that a lot of the players that are in form currently are players that are at clubs where they've been able to be rested throughout the season, players at clubs where they've not been absolutely through the ringer for the entire season, players in big squads with lots of quality players around them. I don't think there's any dramas around that one. I think, it certainly was easier for Greenwood to withdraw if he genuinely did withdraw from the squad, particularly on the back of that Iceland incident. And he may not be in a hurry to represent England just yet anyway, considering his age. Rashford, on the other hand, has already played in a World Cup all the way up to the semi-final for England. I thought he was one of England's better performers, even tasted penalty shootout glory, which is a rarity for an England player. And is about as committed as a footballing professional is possible to be. I think he's doing his best on and off the pitch. If he wants to prolong his career, he definitely has to prioritise at some point. Now, clearly, I'm selfish here because I don't really give a shit about England. Manchester United is my priority. And I would want to see a fit and functioning Marcus Rashford because if the numbers he's put up over the last 2 years have been what he's done while being injured, surely we should all be absolutely foaming at the mouth to see what a fully fit, injury-free Marcus Rashford could do. And for me, I want to see him do it for Manchester United. England is stacked in his position. I don't think they would miss him anywhere near as much as Manchester United would miss him. And I would use the summer to go and get sorted. This upcoming season is absolutely critical for both Solskjaer and the club, and I would include him for Marcus's career in the middle of that as well. This could be the turning point for the club for the first time properly since, or in the post-Sir Alex era. And not to forget, there is a World Cup on the other side, so he wouldn't have to wait too long to be turning out for the Three Lions again. Do I think he'll do it? No. I think it's too late for him now. I think he's probably going to go. I hope he gets through it without picking up any more injuries, and I hope he takes all the time he needs and isn't rushed back and is managed back into the side next year. And hopefully it doesn't have too much of an impact in a negative sense on Manchester United. But that's my thought. I don't think Marcus should have gone, and that was why. Let me know in the comments, do you agree? Do you disagree? I'll see you in the next one.